Hey Sang, really quick, I'm just going to do a little video to show you how to apply the products that I brought over for you today and try to just make it simple, okay? So real quick, I'm just going to get my hair out of my way. And first off, okay, I got nothing on my face, just clean skin. Yeah, you just want to, like, if you put any moisturizer or, anything that's got sunscreen or whatever you put on underneath, just do that like normal. One tip when when you take a shower before you're getting ready, take a wet, damp washcloth just with the warm water inside the shower and just kind of rub over your lips gently. That will take off any dry skin and that'll be perfect for applying whatever you want to put onto your lips. But that's always just a good tip to do. Our lips get dry every day from breathing, and it's always good to get that top layer of dead skin off so the new skin underneath can come up, okay? So the first thing to do is put on the primer. Okay, that's in that black tube like this. I gave you an open tube already because you snip off the end. There's one I also gave you that was new in a box. You could do whichever you prefer. You can try out the one that's already open. The new one has to be snipped off the end, but this tube's almost gone. You just need like a little, a good pea size amount, okay? It's clear and it just it's very smooth. So I just kind of pat it between my fingers and I just kind of dab it around wherever I'm going to apply makeup, okay? And then just kind of smooth it over your skin, okay? You'll feel it just kind of glide over. It's very smooth and silky feeling. And what this is doing is it goes over your skin, it fills in pores and little fine lines, and it just creates like this perfectly smooth surface for your makeup to attach to. So when you go to apply the makeup, it's attaching to the primer, which is kind of more stable. And like I was telling you, we were talking about last night, our skin is skin, so it's not perfectly even all over. You're going to have dry spots and not so dry spots, and the makeup is going to absorb into the dry spots more and sit on top of the other spots that aren't so dry, and that's how you can get kind of an uneven texture of makeup. This will make it go on smoother, you'll use less product, it'll stay on better and look fresher longer. All good stuff. And it also just kind of creates this nice little barrier between your makeup and your skin. So it's worthwhile. So I put that on and I usually just kind of let it sit for a minute. And usually I'll do that and then maybe like go get dressed or whatever, or do something else, wash your hands and then do some, I don't know, but you don't have to wait long. Okay, so then when you're done with that, move on to the foundation. I remember we talked about emptying the dropper. You want to get all of the liquid out and then just screw back on the top. Just give it a good shake. You just want to mix up all the liquid in there. It's mineral makeup, so all that it needs to really mix well with the pigment and the liquid. And because this liquid, it's like it goes on wet, but then once it dries, it just kind of like poof, instantly turns not powdery but dry, And so you want to get those parts mixed up, the minerals and the liquid that it's in, and then take your brush. This is the brush that I gave you to use. It will work well as a makeup brush. Like I said, these are just, these aren't the greatest brushes, but it'll work for you this weekend. The foundation brush that you want to get is this one, which I can order. I don't have any brand new ones at home right now, but this is the one that has a little hole in the middle. They're similar kind of textures, so this will work fine. I'll show you how I do it with this one. So I just put it around the edge, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 drops. It doesn't take a lot, but I just kind of go around the edge. The hole's in the middle. I think that just gives it a little more mobility. And I just start to dab this around, kind of just like I did with the primer. I like dabbing things around because then I feel like I don't have to work so hard to move the product, okay? Like I'm putting the product already kind of where I want it, and then I'm just using the brush to blend it. And it makes it easier that way. Does that make sense? Because if I took it all right here and just started on my cheek, and I felt like I had to take it all from here and kind of move it all the way, you know, like keep pushing it, then I'd end up putting more over here to even it out. And then I feel like I'd end up using more product just to get it even, when really all I need is just what is already on the brush, okay? And generally you kind of concentrate more in the center of your face and kind of move out. And so you actually have less product towards the edges. And then just once you feel like you've got it pretty good and distributed, you just start doing little swirls. And the brush is really doing all of the blending work. You know, it's just swirling and blending out the foundation. And like I said, you just kind of want to shear it out to the edges, even go over your ears, down your neck, to where it just kind of shears from your face to nothing. Okay, so there's no start and stop spots. You know, I just, and I go over my lids, all around my eyes, go around the nose. The whole deal with foundation and what you're doing is, our faces have different colors. You know, you just got, there's spots where you have redness, there's places where your face gets more sun, so it's got a little more, you know, color there. You could have lighter spots over here, you could have darkness around your eyes, all different colors on our face. It's normal, okay? What you're trying to do with foundation is you're just kind of finding a shade that's just gonna kind of unify them all together. They're going to, it's just gonna give you a more smoother, even toned skin look, okay? So you're not necessarily covering up your skin. Sometimes, some people, you don't, but some people have more skin issues. Like they have a lot of redness, or they have, you know, just where their skin is very, for all kinds of reasons. And so in those cases, someone will want more coverage. They really do want to cover up the skin. You don't have skin issues like that. I don't. So I'm just looking to kind of unify and even out my skin tone. It just makes it look a little more refreshed and just more, you know, polished and better, you know, more youthful. Okay. So, which is all good. But so that's all I'm trying to do with my foundation, is just to even out my skin tone. And so I'm just doing the same thing over here. And if you feel like you need a little more coverage in an area, like say, you know, like around the nose, or like I always tend to get redness kind of around my nose here, over my eyebrows, you know, maybe some redness in the cheeks, you know, it just happens. So it's one of the things, you know, definitely as we get older, our skin just develops more colors like that. Okay, so just, my mirror is my phone right now. So kind of, well, I got this one too. But so there, that's it. And like I said, I'm just kind of shearing it down my neck. And so it just looks kind of even and not like there's no start-stop point. Okay, so now, so I did the foundation. So now the next thing would be to do the eyes. Okay, now this is up to you, whether what you want to do. I gave you that palette too, that has this kind of like grays and blacks, and there's some darker colors. You can, oh, and also that little bronzer in that little pot with the purple cap. That is a bronzer. It has a little bit of sheen to it. It's kind of got a little pinkish color, so it could be used as a cheek color and also as an eye color. You can, with this brush that I gave you, it's kind of a little bit denser, a little bit fluffy. What you could do with that bronzer, or if you want to use the eye palette, I'm using palette 1. This is a different, it's similar to 2, but it's a browns instead of blacks and grays. But I think with what you were saying you were wearing, and just the one I gave you, I thought would work well for you. So what you can do, you know what, let me, I'm going to first off this is a bronzer. This is a little bit different. It's similar to the one in the little pot that I gave you. I don't have one exactly like that here, but this is similar in color. It's just not loose powder like that one, but I can show you what I'm going to do with this, and it's similar to what you can do with that little bronzer pot. You take the brush and just kind of dab it into the bronzer color, and you think about your eyelid, you just want, when you close your eye, you can feel your eyeball in there. And the top of your eyeball is kind of where, say, your crease is. I know you don't want to, what you want to do is kind of stay below the crease. Okay, so just put a little bit of color, right, kind of more towards the, closer to your lash line. Okay. You're just going to just kind of give a little definition to the top of your lash line. Okay. And just kind of stay like just on the lid part. Okay. I try to, because I have these kind of fleshier eyelids up here, I try to keep any shimmer kind of away from that area because I don't want it to come forward. So I'm just kind of staying right here, and I think that would be the same for you too, is to just keep it closer to the lash line, okay? So see how that just kind of, like just minimally sort of define my eye just a little bit as opposed to this one over here by just putting a little bit of color right below and just in the crease there, right where I feel the top of my eyeball. Okay, so right there, that's the crease. Now, what you could do with that eye palette is in this little brush that I gave you to, this little angled one, you could take the darker, like a darker color on the ends and just kind of tap the edge, just the flat edge into the darker color, okay? Just to that little edge, whoop, dropping stuff. And just dab it along the edge of your eye, where your lash line. I've still got yellow eyeshadow on my, I was playing with these rainbow colors today and I've still got yellow eyeshadow on my eyelid. Okay, see, so like I'm just tapping that along my lash line there. And just kind of brushing it out just a little bit. Okay, you could do something like that with this little brush. Here's the thing with Younique products. What's so great about them is that they have so much pigment in them. A little goes a long way and you're just really getting like pure color right where you want it. Okay, and then you could do the same thing underneath the lash line, just going to, and sometimes I like to use the powdered shadows as eyeliner because I just feel like it gives a softer look. It's not like as harsh as like a, you know, a pencil. And I like the dark, you know, brown, grayish colors. And I know there's some like, there's even a black in the palette that I gave to you. And you could totally get away with the black, or like there's a dark gray. That would be great too. It'd be a little softer, still have some drama, but a little softer than the black. Okay, and just go underneath the lash line. And you just want to go like about 3/4 of the way over. Okay, you don't want to totally go across because you don't need to close up your eye. You just kind of want to define this outer edge. Again, you don't have to, you don't need to do any of this with the eyes if you don't want to. I just want to give you some options. Okay, so you can put a little bit of color on the lid, the lower part, and you can put a little bit of darker powder on the outside edge. You could also use that eye pencil, that purpley one that I gave you, that soft, that we'll put in there, and you can kind of smudge that a little bit. You could draw, you could use the pencil and then use the brush even to just kind of like smudge the pencil a little bit. That would be pretty. And you could use the same color on your lips too. Multi-purpose, multitasking products. That's what I love, okay? Now, so that's what you could do with the eyes. And then, oh, for the cheeks, the same color with the bronzer. You could take like the fluffy brush. Oh, actually, I gave you a blush brush in there. It's black. It's also on kind of an angle like this. You could use either one. You could use the one that you just did the foundation with, or you could use the black one. And just take a little bit of the bronzer color in there, and just put it like right here on your cheekbones, kind of going up into your temple there. And you just want to kind of stay higher up on your cheekbone. Okay, that's going to give your cheeks like a little lift. By keeping this, do you see that? See how that's like lifting this part of my cheek up as opposed to this side over here? Already, just with these couple of things I've done, a little bit of color on the eyes, a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of blush on this side, you know, a little color in the cheek, up high up on the cheekbone, kind of coming up into the temples, because it kind of looks like when you naturally blush, it kind of runs in from the outsides, right? Okay, but it's my face is taking some shape, okay? As opposed to over here where everything's just kind of like one tone and kind of flat, like this side over here is just starting to have a little dimension to it. That's the whole point, okay? It's just to kind of create some little curves and interest on your face. Okay, so I'm reading my notes here. So that's how you could do with the cheeks. I did give you a blush in like a little round compact. It has a little bit of shimmer to it. Same thing, you could use what was in that little pot there. Again, a little goes a long way, super highly pigmented, so just go easy, just barely tap it. And put on some. If you feel like you need a little more, you can always get a little. It's always easier to add a little more than to try to take it off. Okay, so I always go real easy with the color and just kind of tap that in to there. Now I also gave you a color that was called Sisterly, and that has a little bit of shimmer to it. There's also one that says a la mode on the top, and I think it's lustrous and it's kind of gold on the inside. That's like a highlighter. Okay, so what you do with the lustrous, I'm going to use like this bronzer color here. This is similar to it. What you do with that is to take your like blush brush and just barely tap that lustrous, and you want to go on the very, very highest points of your face. Okay, like up on the very tops of your cheek. You can go down your nose. You can go over here like the little, do you see how when I put on those little highlighters, it just, any high points of your face, like here, this little peak in my lip, it could be like on my chin, anywhere where I want to kind of catch light, I'm going to, wherever the high points are, when you're in lighting, the light is going to catch these little high points. I don't know if you can kind of see, even just this window light, it's just catching a little and reflecting. Okay, so that's what's giving these areas to look like, oh, you know, my cheekbones are so high, they're catching light. It's, yes, that's what we're doing. You're creating kind of an illusion of height in the cheekbones. It's all good. So by putting that little bit of luminizer just on the very tops, you're just creating a little bit of visual interest like that. Okay, so you've got the cheek color, which has a little bit of shimmer in it, and that's going to do that too. Or you can also add a little extra with the luminizer, and like you said, you're going from a daytime to nighttime. Maybe for the daytime, just put on the blush color, and then at nighttime, maybe freshen that up, and then just add a little luminizer to kind of give a little zhuzh. Okay. But again, it's very subtle, it's very simple, it still looks very natural. You just, everything looks good. Okay, so, and then the brows. And I know I gave you a little brow pencil like this, and it's got the little spoolie end. What's great to do with that is just to brush through your brows. Brows can get a little crazy. Those little hairs can be going in all different directions. It's always good to at least, because you get up in the morning and they're a little bit nuts. I just kind of brush them out. I kind of brush them straight up and then kind of even them out and then just kind of settle them down. Okay, so the deal with the pencil, and that can be enough. That can be enough just to brush them out. But what I like to do with these pencils is like it's a very thin little like lead, not lead, but you know what I mean. And so what you do with this is you just kind of go into your brow and just kind of go in little short, little like hair-like strokes. And all you're doing, you're not like drawing on brows, but you're just kind of filling in and making it appear a little fuller, a little more defined, just a little darker, just adding a little depth and definition to your brows, because, you know, your brows are like I know it's been in trend to have like these really kind of exaggerated brows, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it's okay, people do that, but they don't need to be exaggerated. In my opinion, if your brows are done right, you kind of notice everything else, okay? And they're just sort of like, to me, they work like crown molding for your face, okay? They just, when they're defined, it makes your eye, when someone looks at you, their eye kind of goes up and they kind of see your whole face, okay? So the brows just sort of add a little structure and you know, yeah, they add structure and kind of perspective to your face. So when someone looks at you, because the brows are defining it, they kind of focus in on the whole eye area. When the brows are kind of disappearing, it just kind of, everything kind of gets a little bit lost. So by defining the brow, you notice the eye, and then you notice the whole face. So again, it doesn't have to be dark and dramatic, just kind of filling in to give a little extra definition. That's all, okay? And then just take this again and brush it up. It just makes it a little glittery. Can you see the difference between this side and this side? I haven't like done anything exaggerated and crazy, but it just gives like a lift, and just this brow just looks a little flat. This side just looks a little sharper, crisper, and a little more defined. And it's super easy to just kind of fill that in. You're not trying to draw or do anything. You're just doing quick little strokes. You can also do that, a similar kind of a thing, with that same brush that we did the eyeliner thing, with the colored pigments in the eyeshadow palette. Okay, I can take this color here and just kind of do a similar type of thing like that right into my eyebrow like that. But the pencil, I think, is even easier if it's, you know, when you're to do that, because you know, you're not worried about getting, it's just easy to apply. So either one, whatever works best for you, I would go with that. Now the eyeliner, we already talked about that. You could use the pencil or use the powder from the eyeshadow palette. And then you want to do powder. Okay, I'm not gonna do this whole side of my face because you kind of can see what's happening here. And also it just gives you a sense of like what a difference just these couple of products have made. Here's the finishing powder that, see, it's got this little thing here. You just want to pull the powder up into the tube, and then just kind of, I like to use my setting powder before I put on my mascara, just because I like to not get powder on my freshly done mascara. If I get powder on my lashes beforehand, that's okay, because it's just going to add some, you know, more thickness to my lashes, you know. Anyway, so there, I just kind of went over my face with the powder, and you see how nice and kind of, it almost has like kind of a blurring effect, and just kind of makes like a nice finish, and it's providing you with sun protection. I think that's awesome. Okay, and this can be used, you could put that primer on like we started with, and just do this, and just put this all over your face, which is a perfect like weekend thing to do. And we also have tinted moisturizer as well, which might be something you would like too. I like to use that, especially when I'm gonna be like out, you know, a sporting thing on the weekends, or, you know, amusement parks, or wherever I'm gonna be really outside in the sun. I will definitely do that powder with whatever foundation I'm gonna do. Okay, now for mascara, oh, the lash serum. The lash serum, you just apply from your mid lash to the ends. Now typically, I apply this like at night as part of my nighttime routine. I'm just putting it on now. I wouldn't necessarily do this as a part of my getting ready with my makeup, but just to show you, you just wanna focus mid lash to the ends. And this also works on brows. Like I'll go through this, you know, like dip it in, apply it to my lashes, and whatever I have left, I'll kind of just sort of swipe through my brows at night. And so I just kind of keep this next to my toothbrush, and then I know to apply it. And this stuff works. I'm telling you, if you use this regularly every day, if your lashes, once they get to a place that you're happy with them, you can go to like every other day just to maintain them. but it just becomes a habit for me, and I just put it on every day. You can also do it morning and night, and that will boost your lashes even faster. But for me, it's just easy to remember to do it at night. So I just do that, let it dry. It takes a little longer than regular water to dry, but so that's why I just do it at night, but it's okay. I'm going to now do the mascara. This is the brown. I love this mascara. This is one of my most favorites. I didn't think I would love the brown as much as I do, but I really do. It's dark enough, but there's just something, it just gives your lashes such a boost, but because it's the brown, I feel like it has an even more natural look. And so it's great. So what I do with this, I love the brush. It gets every little lash, but I just start like to the base of my lashes and just kind of wiggle it on and pull up. And just feel like I'm really getting every single lash. Start at the base and pull up. And then once I feel like I've gotten each lash coated from the base up, then I just start kind of focusing on mid lash to the ends, kind of pulling through. I don't need to recoat the brush. One good dip is enough. But I'm just going to pull through and then kind of focus on the ends and just be working it through, getting all the little lashes. See, what a difference, okay? And then on the bottoms, I just kind of get just a little bit. I just want to get a little product on each one just to define them, but I really focus mostly on the top, but I want to get just a little bit on each one. And then on the ends, on these little sides, you got little teeny lashes over there that you can't see. But if you just kind of wiggle the brush and I kind of look up, I can feel them, but I can't see them. But if I just get the wand on there, it finds those little lashes and just gets a little extra product on there. And I feel like those little lashes on the sides just make my eyes open right up. And somehow this formula curls up my lashes. Okay, see that? I mean, that's amazing. And it's just mascara. You can put it on, you can add more if you want. You can use a little less, you can use a little more. You wash it off at night. It's great. Okay. Love that. Okay, lashes. Lashes are so everything. Okay, if I do nothing else, I will at least put on some lashes every day. Okay, so eyeliner, mascara. Okay, and so the lips, the balm. Okay, I gave you, oh, that's what fell. Oh. Sorry, the lip balm fell down. Okay, this is the Red Velvet Cake Tinted Lip Balm. This stuff is great, super moisturizing. So now you got super smooth lips because you exfoliated them with the towel. And just apply this. See, that gives just a little bit of color, just a tiny bit, just a little plummy something there. Okay, I had to go find the pencil. This is technically this is an eye pencil, okay? Which I love. It's a beautiful eye pencil. It can be used on the eye. Just even like here, I put that little dark color under there. I added a little. I would typically do this before doing the mascara, but it's okay. You get the idea. Now you can add this as color over the lip balm just to add a little more color, just kind of deepen that up a little bit. And so because you put the lip balm on first, when you add this, it just kind of, it makes it real creamy and it just comes off real easy. It just feels like you have like a nice balmy, nothing too heavy feeling, but that pencil has like a little bit of sheen in it. So it just kind of creates like this nice little, you know, shimmer. That's the word I'm looking for. Now you can, if you want to, okay, so I gave you that little highlighter color. What you can do with that is just take a little teeny tiny dab of that. It's like a little highlighting little trick, because I showed you like already doing the high points of your face. Here on the you can dab just a tiny bit in. Now I'm using bronzer, so it's not quite the same color. But what I'm trying to say is right in the middle, by putting a little shimmer in the middle, it just kind of creates a little fullness appearance because it's creating that little bit of shimmer there. But that's, I think with that pencil, you can even get away with it without it. But by adding a little shimmer in certain places, like, you know, just here on the nose, see how it just kind of catches light there a little bit? These are all little makeup little tips and tricks. Okay, so there you go. So this is one side of my face compared to this side of my face. See? And here I've got the foundation on, but over here there's just a little more interest. You know, like my brows are defined. It's just a little bit of color around my eyes, lip color, cheek color. Good to go. Okay, have the best time. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to throw me some, what do I do with this? You know, I'm totally happy to help, okay? And have a safe drive up to Sacramento, and I can't wait to hear all about it. All right, take care. Bye-bye.